Hello, everyone. It's Alexis with Create Your Future, and we're back today, you guys, with another video. And we have INEZ once again joining us, who's still a new coach on our team. And we're talking about why your circumstances don't matter, what your circumstances are, and then also what to do in your reality when you're faced with circumstances that you don't like that have manifested. Before we get started, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Please hit the bell icon in the box below, and you get notified every time we post new videos. And you guys, just a reminder that we're still having our giveaway. So every time that you comment on one of our videos about how coaching, law of attraction, or law of assumption has helped you, then you get put in a pool of people for the giveaway of 3 free coaching sessions, which is pretty cool. All right, so now all that being said, INEZ, just jump in, say hello to everyone, and let's get started.
Thank you, Alexis. Hi, everyone. Yes, circumstances is like the most biggest thing people are really focused on, because you got to remember that your thoughts are always creating everything around you. So anything that's happening in your circumstances that you don't like, it's something that you manifested it. And it's just a shadow. Your circumstances are always being following you and your assumptions of what you give it, and it's just old program stuff that you maybe have manifested like a month ago, but it doesn't matter, because now you can just change it with your own thoughts and create a new story and desire into that feeling.
I love that. No, it's so true, isn't it? And it can be so challenging when we're talking about manifesting from your inner world and knowing that your thoughts create and that your thoughts are things and that you create and you manifest everyone and everything around you. So you guys, the fortunate or unfortunate news is that the things that you don't like, you've also manifested. But we want to view it as if it's old assumptions, old beliefs, old thoughts that are either still showing up, coming back to show up, or that you believe have also hardened into fact, and that's why they're there. So the answer is always the mental diet, but it's good to know these principles so that you keep yourself sane, I think, too, while you're manifesting, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you can even, if you're having trouble with manifesting a good desire specific person, give it a test with somebody else, maybe with your family members, to show evidence like this stuff still works, and that you want to continue on pursuing the desired best version of your specific person that can show up that way. Like if they're not showing up the way that you want them right now, it's okay, because they're still reflecting back into the old assumptions, the old thoughts, and the old patterns that you have given them. But now we want to put that focus and redirect yourself into this new ideal person that you want them to show up. Like you want to give everything a positive meaning, because circumstances, they don't ever matter unless you think they matter.
Mm-hmm. No, it's so true, isn't it? And I mean, I think that a good way to look at it is that when you're also manifesting for a specific person, that sometimes they can show up in a way that you like, and then you know that your thoughts are creating, and you kind of have that evidence, and then they can show up the way that you don't like. Like usually in our reality, as you're recreating someone or you're changing circumstances, it can flip flop. It can go from, oh yes, this is what I want, to, oh, this is the old story. But it's always your reality asking you, like, hey, is this really what you want? Where are you going to put your focus? Are you sure this is what you want? Those kinds of things. So it's okay. It's just too cute to stay on track. But for me, in my personal life, it's always been helpful to remember that I created it, and to know that it came from me and I'm responsible for it, which means that if I created it, I'm responsible for it. That means that I can also change it, versus thinking that going into any kind of victim mode, which is thinking like, this happened to me, this is coming outside of me, this person did this to me, which is how we're taught to think about life and living and reality. So it's okay. It's a good cue for all of us and all of our listeners and subscribers to think, oh no, this is a cue for me to really focus on being the creator of my experience, for me to focus on being the god or the goddess of what I'm doing, because I'm the only one that can, is the funny thing.
Yeah, and it's so true. And you want to be able to accept for what's happened. Don't absorb the negative stuff, because that's just, in the end, this is all your power. This is all your evidence that things are still working, even if it's not. Your thoughts are still working, and even in a wrong way, you can just change that all around, because you can tell your mind what to do. You're not going to fall back into victim mode and allow your life to be ruined, because at some point you're going to get tired of reacting, and you're going to want to change your reality so much that now you want to stick onto this mental diet and persist until your new desired 3D shifts.
Mm-hmm. No, and I love how you say that, INEZ, too, because I think that reacting, it can be so exhausting, right? Like having a reaction, having negative thoughts about things and holding that energetic space, it can be really tiring. So I think the easiest thing to do is to not react and just sit with myself, like lean back, allow things to come to me, allow myself to be in the process of it's working and not reacting. I like to look at it like when you react, it's a lot of output. And then when you're responding or when you're receiving, it's like you're going into the input of yourself. You're not going out, you're going within, which is always the answer with the mental diet. But like, what's the point of reacting to things that you already created and that you know you created and that you don't want anyways? All it does is hold it into place, you guys, which is really funny, right? So what happens to me now when I react is I'll react and I'll be like, yeah. And then I'll think, no, wait a minute. I reacted to that which I created and that I didn't want that. And I created it, so now I held it in place. Now I have to revise the fact that I reacted. Great, Alexis, awesome. You know, like it's exhausting. Who wants to do that anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Like it does get so exhausting, and like nothing's ever too big or too difficult for the universe and your subconscious mind. Like, yeah, I may have created some messy drama in my life, but now that I know better, like I can create the opposite because I'm that powerful. My subconscious mind, it has the ability to change the new story. And I know for some people it's difficult to see like the new perspective way, but how else are you going to change your life? Like, this is the only way to continue to persist on the new desire and continue to see the best outcome at all times. And like, and just stop reacting. Just go back into your underworld, because that's where everything is coming anyways.
Right. No, it's so true. You know, this reminds me of a client of mine where, and I've talked to a lot of one-on-one clients about how this happens. She had a certain situation with her SP, and then she began doing mental diet, and I gave her a lot of affirmations about changing the relationship, changing him. And then in her 3D reality, guess what happened? So we had done some specific intentions, and she got a text message from him that just had the eye emoji. Like, have you seen that emoji that's just like just my eyeball? Right?
Yeah.
So, like, it was almost like he was like saying, I see you. And then he said, I can't talk to you anymore. This is too much for me. We have to not talk anymore. Because he was getting the thoughts that she was sending him. Because the thoughts are always being received by the specific person, whether they're thoughts you want or thoughts you don't want, whatever you're thinking they're getting. So anyways, she changed her thoughts. The funny thing is about her 3D circumstance, he blocked her out of the blue. And they had been in like friends with benefits for like 10 years. And if she watches this, she's going to know who this is. Anyways, she's a success story previously, so it's fine if I talk about it. But anyways, he blocked her. She booked a session, and I said, oh, no, it's fine. Like, it's your reality. It's changing. Circumstances don't matter. Don't react to it. Stay on your thoughts. Stay on the mental diet. Well, I think it must have been like 24 hours after she got that text message, or after he blocked her, he unblocked her. And now 7 months later, they're totally in a relationship. And it's like, it's all changed. And of course she got unblocked. It didn't matter, but she didn't give any thought to it. She didn't even get irritated. It was like, and it was out of the blue. It was kind of crazy, you know, but it was obvious that he was getting the thoughts that she was thinking, and her staying to her mental diet and sticking the course, right? And going through the resistance and just thinking the thoughts a lot and affirming is what got her to the other side of the rainbow. That's how I like to look at it.
I love that story so much, because even if it's been 20 years that things are falling apart, you can literally turn this all around with what feels like 24 hours. Because specific people or whoever you're focusing on, they're still listening to your thoughts, which is kind of scary. But that's how thought transmission works anyway. So anytime you think about them, like, what do you think they're thinking about you? And like, what do you think about the relationship? Like, you always want to give out the positive meaning with that person, and that they choose you, they want to be with you. And even if they did block you, like, that doesn't even matter. Don't react into something like that. Like, know that the energy's still working, and that thought transmission's still working, and that you guys are going to get back together. The connection's going to be much stronger and lovingly, and things like that.
No, it's true, because, you know, we can also go to the fact that we know that there is no separation energetically between all of us. as human beings because we're energetic at a molecular level. So that's how we're all connected and we're all one. The part that we never knew is that everyone can overhear our thoughts. So what's funny is that this is explained. I don't know, INEZ, if you've seen the Twilight Saga. Have you watched those movies?
I think I've seen one before.
Okay. Well, there's, I mean, I'm admitting my own interests here, but like I love vampires and I love the Twilight Saga and I love how the Twilight Saga depicts vampires. The thing though, is that the werewolves, anyone who watches Twilight will understand what this is. The werewolves can all hear each other's thoughts. So they can all, like there's a scene, and I watched it recently, there's a scene where they're all complaining about the main guy, Jacob, how he's thinking thoughts of the girl who becomes a vampire, and how he's thinking thoughts of like, am I supposed to call her? Is she gonna call me? I shouldn't call her. I should call her. Has she called yet? And they're all annoyed because they can all hear his thoughts of thinking about her. And it's like, it's a good example, almost like that, not like we're all werewolves, you guys, right? But that we're all, because this is in movies, it's in, you know, like a lot of sci-fi that your thoughts create, and that just think that we're just like a pack of people, like in your reality, everyone is your pack, and that everyone can overhear your thoughts. Like your thoughts aren't, not to the point that you want to be like, you need to be perfect about your thoughts, but you need to have dominant thinking about whatever you manifest, so it overrides any negative thoughts, right? But your thoughts are things, and that's how they create. We're all connected. So I thought that was a really cute analogy from the werewolf.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, because you really are at one with everything around you, including like the people around you. So like, yeah, like I think it's really important to be aware that nothing's ever separated by you, even if like your specific person's like not in the picture, like they're still in the picture inside your inner world. There's so many infinite versions of them that you kind of selected the wrong ones, that they're not calling, they're not texting you, you know, all these bad things about them. But that's not who they really want to show up. They want to show up the loving way for you. They see it as like they want you to change your thoughts about them, see the best version of them, because they're always with you inside. No matter how far away they are, they're inside of you. Like you're the one that's creating everything about them, their characteristics, how they're showing up. Even like just gotta avoid like blocking the loving like person that they are, and just choose the best version of them every single time, and that you're worthy of this relationship. Self-concept is so important when it comes to these things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you think it from the perspective that we're all connected, that means that everyone's also connected to your lack of self-concept or your solidified self-concept, because it's the basis of all your thinking. So, I mean, either way, you guys, the answer is to be on the right thoughts, knowing your thoughts are things, knowing your circumstances don't matter, and that this is why, because they're old thoughts, it's an old belief system, or it's an old assumption, but not to say that you should pretend like they're not happening. You want to acknowledge your reality for what it is, and then refocus your attention and your inner world on that which you want. So I think this video's got some really great tips, INEZ. So you can always refer to this video. So when you're wondering, are my circumstances so difficult that I can't manifest through this? And does the mental diet work for me? Because the answer is always yes, 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 because you create your reality, your thoughts are things, and your thoughts create. So you guys, another reminder too, that INEZ is available for one-on-one coaching, and she's brand new to our team. So that means she is having a super duper sale, and she obviously knows her stuff. And like in our other video, INEZ is really good at helping you manifest pregnancies and anything with fertility, if that's something that you have any issues with, which I love. It's like a tender spot in my heart. So, all right. So one more time, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video. Make today awesome. Bye.